on the village executive committee are supposed to participate. And after electing parish council committees, women council elections will proceed at sub-county level, and registers will be compiled on the 11th of August 2026. Now, women council elections will be concluded by the National Conference elections scheduled for 3rd to 4th September 2026. And the Electoral Commission has urged voters to support any form of the electoral malpractice therein. But moving forward to more updates, the Minister of Local Government, Balam Barugahara, has resumed his anti-corruption sweep in Isinjiro district, where he has ordered for the arrest and interdiction of several district officials, mainly those implicated in mismanagement of government resources. And moving forward, non-communicable diseases are becoming one of Uganda's biggest public health crisis and challenges, with the Ministry of Health warning that they now account for 35% of all deaths in the country. Officials from the Ministry of Health are urging Ugandans to embrace healthier lifestyles like working out, exercise, and healthier food choices when it comes to their plates. Robert, I'm not so sure what healthy lifestyle you look forward to taking up, or you are taking up already, but I'd love to know which one.
Doing exercises.
Lovely. Which ones in particular?
I swim.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Right.
I walk.
Lovely. Those are very convenient at that.
But diet, I'm not yet there.
That's what's the point of working out?
Let me work out, but restricting what I eat. More so, there's something I like so much when I'm happy and I'm celebrating. There's a slight meal I enjoy, and because that is how I live my life.
Then what's the point of working out?
Working out, no, you know, having my body to be strong.
Yes, I know, but then
I swim for my body to be healthy and strong. I walk to be healthy and strong.
But then again, you know the Luganda saying, ayuzeza na yanika mutaka.
Naera bwempuga nentambula. I can say I'm walking from Namasuba up to Kumukaga.
No,
then the next day and
with
come back like
an unhealthy lifestyle.
Now, eating, I have reservations to when I will get there.
But good morning.
Good morning to you, Judy.
Always good to see you. And doing this with you.
How
what
was
are you
your
looking
week?
at? Well, my week has been. I'm yet to think about it. Do you know why? It's because you know how our industry is. It's from one who's on the other side, it looks seamless. But from one who's on the inside and you're practicing it, someone told me that you guys are like soldiers.
From one show, people see you off TV and they think you're done.
Yes.
Now you're switching to radio.
Yes.
Then again, you're switching to something
But
else.
also before you get to TV or before you get to radio, there's a lot of work you put into what you're going to say. So
Of course, plus the early waking up.
Plus the early waking up. So sometimes you go through every day just as a wave, and before you know it, you're like, what exactly happened throughout the week? How do I feel? You haven't caught up with yourself.
And these days, weekends are like dwarfs.
Man, talk about it. Talk about it. But how was yours? What have you been following?
Well, the week has had quite some stories. The sad bit of it
A lot of sad stories.
is the death of the SC Villa captain.
Yes.
That really didn't go well with me. And I hope we find a solution. You know, sometimes my dad told us when we were young, and you'll be the translator, that, you see, if you get a chizimba, you know what that is? Or this generation, you've not seen these things. They used to press that thing and pus comes out.
Okay.
Now, if you don't address the root cause, you still get more of them. Say a child is sleeping in a dirty environment, you still get those. Now, what you do, you must address the root cause. Now, these boys we are seeing today, these gangs, it is more than just saying, let's investigate and arrest them. We must go down and discover. I'm not saying government has not done enough. It has done something, but it's a drop in an ocean. Why are we seeing this rate of crime? Recently, I said I thank government of Uganda. I think you read a story, was it in the US, where some content creator was shot at? People on a Mexico, sorry, a person on a motorcycle. And I said, government, we heard this had become a problem in Uganda. But we thank our government and security forces. Because, Judy, every after 3 months you would hear, Gundi bamukubye, Gundi bamukubye. You see those funny pictures on ugly scenes on social media. But it's been a while, and we pray that that never happens again. Now, these boys, Peva, someone is going back home, walking. We need to really go deep and understand. Away from the arrests, why are these people engaging in this crime? There's a time border robbery was very high. Security, that day, border 2010 was eliminated. The rampant border theft of hitting with a hammer reduced. Right. Now we need to investigate. But away from that, also there is a story that I know many Ugandans have picked interest, is our UPDF, Uganda People's Defense Forces, going to the Gaza Strip for a peacekeeping mission on the requests of Donald J. Trump. Uganda will export peace. And that is something that many have received with mixed feelings. Some, it is a sign of honor that our forces are trusted that much to go and maintain peace. To others, some are saying this happened in World War I, World War II, where we went to fight battles we are not part of.
You know, that's the first thing that crossed my mind.
You know? That's why it's received with mixed reactions.
Yes.
There's that side that says, but for sure, how are we connected? If it was, say, nearer the East African community, we would say, if Somalia is not safe, if Sudan is not safe, it will, but there. Some are going back to the people who were taken in World War I and World War II. But to some of us, the school of thought where I belong, we see this as an honor.
Okay.
That our country is noticed.
Right.
Our forces are have reached to that professional standard.
Right.
To be desired by a superpower. It's a mission of honor.
Right. Very interesting perspectives. Different at that, but with that remaining therein. And of course, one call from most of the members of parliament was that our sons and daughters of the soil of Uganda, the land of Uganda, be protected at all costs and be preserved at all costs, with their welfare being taken as a priority. On a rather sad note again, the Deputy RDC of Machindi also passed away, Mark Baingana, which was also a sad one. That is this week after battling cancer for a while. Now, on that note, Robert, what do we have on the local scene this morning? Oh,
our president is in Tanzania for a financial deal and bilateral relations. Now, President Yoweri Museveni and President Samia Suluhu Hassan held bilateral talks at State House in Dar es Salaam before witnessing the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Uganda National Oil Company, the Tanzania Petroleum Development Corporation, and Vito Bahrain. The agreement will see the three partners jointly develop the Tanga Regional Energy Hub, building on the momentum created by the East African crude oil pipeline. The hub is expected to expand petroleum storage, refining, logistics, trading, and distribution capacity, positioning Tanga as a strategic regional energy center. Uganda's Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Monica Mosenero, described the agreement as a milestone in regional integration, saying it reflects the two countries' shared vision of unlocking greater value from their energy resources. Tanzania's Minister for Energy, Deo Dejembi, said the agreement marks the next phase of energy cooperation between Uganda and Tanzania following the implementation of the East African crude oil pipeline. He noted that the Tanga Regional Energy Hub will create additional value through petroleum refining, storage, and logistics services. while attracting investment, creating jobs, and strengthening East Africa's energy security. Parliament has approved the plan by government to deploy the Uganda People's Defense Forces in the Gaza Strip for a peacekeeping mission. The move is part of the response to the peace plan initiated by USA President Donald John Trump. The Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, Chiriowa Chiwanuka, informed Parliament of the advanced communication between President Yoweri Museveni and US counterpart Donald Trump about the matter. Uganda has moved to extend its military reach to the Gaza Strip after US President Donald Trump contacted President Yoweri Museveni in July 2026. The Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, Chiriowa Chiwanuka, informed Parliament of the plan. Chiwanuka brought the matter seeking Parliament's approval to deploy Uganda People's Defense Forces in Gaza Strip for a peacekeeping mission. This followed the recent Israel-Palestine conflict that led to extensive destruction in the Gaza Strip, a very rich area and now a very high death toll, mass displacement, and severe humanitarian crisis. A section of MPs expressed discontent, citing too many questions but with limited answers. According to government, the participation is part of the international stabilization force, will aid in preventing further conflict by contributing to border international security, reduce risks of renewed armed conflict between Israel and Palestine. The House approved the move but urged government to avail periodical updates for ease oversight. Officials from Ministry of Works and Transport, led by the Minister Fred Byamukama and the Permanent Secretary, lawyers of IGS Road Operations and managers of Pinnacle Security Limited appeared before the Committee of Physical Infrastructure to give a presentation on operations and maintenance of the Kampala-Entebbe Express Highway. The status report on the project indicated that a contract agreed was signed between the defunct Uganda National Roads Authority, later merged in the Ministry of Works, and IGS Road Operations in April 2021 for the operations and maintenance of Kampala-Entebbe Express Highway for a period of 5 years, which contract sum was 122 billion shillings. The contract commenced in May 2021. IGS, however, subcontracted works between two companies, Pinnacle Security Limited and Abubakar Technical Services. The Committee on Visiting IGS Road Operations offices retrieved data on toll collections and compared it with that from the Ministry of Works. The committee tasked officials from the Ministry of Works to explain who was auditing the project since the contract was issued on 8th May 2026. An innovation agreement was made which transferred all rights, obligations, and liabilities and responsibilities under IGS contract to Pinnacle Security Limited, and extension of the contract by 1 year with the contract sum of 36 billion shillings. What disturbed members of the committee was contracting a security company, Pinnacle, to manage road toll operations and its capacity. The project manager explained to the committee that the 36 billion shillings is not an expenditure of 1 year because the contract is performance-based. And finally, from the local scene this morning, the Ministry of Water and Environment launched efforts to restore and conserve Namiro wetland in Entebbe Municipality, Wakiso District. In partnership with the Municipal Council, the ministry started demarcating the wetland boundaries and cautioned surrounding communities against encroachment. While launching the exercise, Entebbe Municipal Mayor called on leaders to stop politicizing the drive and instead sensitize the public on the importance of environmental conservation. The 2-week-long demarcation exercise, launched on Thursday, will affect surrounding villages of Kiwafu West, Rugonjo, Nachuogo, Kigungu, all fall in Division B, Entebbe Municipality. Entebbe Municipality Mayor assured residents of the affected villages that evicting them will be the last resort, saying they started by sensitizing them and also assessing what extent of degradation has so far happened. Local leaders and residents alike were implored to volunteer information of those who will continue encroaching on the wetland. According to Ministry of Water and Environment records, Uganda has 140,000 kilometers of wetland boundaries countrywide. Of these, 60,000 kilometers are considered protected since they are bordered by natural barriers such as national parks, cliffs, escarpments, and forest reserves. Of the remaining 80,000 kilometers, only 3,000 kilometers have been demarcated. The rest is yet to be demarcated due to inadequate funding. Now, with that story of wetlands, Julie, we come to the end of our local stories. Very important to note that now government is very, very serious when it comes to issues of wetland. However, when enforcement comes and breaking down buildings, I still have questions for Nema. Recently, there's a wetland around Entebbe Road there. And I saw Dr. Heidegger very sure and promising Ugandans. But I could highly doubt that the multi-billion structures would be put down. And indeed never. Naye bagambe waliwo abali mu mayuni wali.
I totally hear you on that, and I guess the question remains the same as the corruption move campaign that we see right now. Well, is that plain landing?
Because what is good for the goose should also be good for the...
I don't remember.
Uganda.
Yes. The memory has been rebuilt. Now, moving on to what we have on the foreign scene, we're starting off with Matters Technology. And this time around, looking at Meta, that is Snapchat, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, all of those social media apps, Threads, therein. A U.S. judge in New Mexico on Thursday ordered Meta to pay another $567 million for its failure to warn the public about dangers its platforms pose to children, marking the largest ruling against the company over child safety. Judge Brian Bitscheid said the social media giant is a public nuisance akin to air pollution and that it must put the money in a fund aimed at reducing future harms. The ruling is in addition to $375 million in fines Meta was already ordered to pay in the case for a total of $942 million. Judge Bitscheid compared Meta to a factory with advertising and content as its product and the psychological harm and sexual exploitation of children to be the pollution that must be abated. Now, a spokesperson from Meta, which owns and operates Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Threads, said, quote unquote, "We work hard to keep people safe on our platforms and have been transparent about the challenges of identifying and removing bad actors and harmful content. And we remain confident in our record of protecting teens online and will continue to defend ourselves against claims that misrepresent the facts." Where does this end? We keep our eyes glued to the story, but still staying with Matters Technology. Robert, have you watched the movie Terminator?
Yeah, there's one I watched while growing up.
By
Maybe
Schwarzenegger.
there's a new one.
The one by Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Every time any conversation about AI is told, I'm reminded of the Terminator, because it feels like we are now living in the times of the Terminator.
When we were growing up, there were movies, I don't know if there were few on market, but there were movies that almost everyone watched.
Yes, I know.
That you just mentioned, and everyone.
Everyone
If Christmas you didn't watch Home, or was
Home
it Home
Alone.
Alone?
Yes, Home
If you
Alone.
didn't watch Baby's Day Out. Now, if you didn't watch these rainbow stuff,
Commando.
one man killing entire village as if for them they were idiots. Now, if you didn't watch was it Gold Must Be Crazy?
Yes.
This Africa. There was some, if you didn't watch some Chuck Norris, then
I know. But here's the thing.
But I don't know for just this generation, because maybe there are so many movies that it would be hard for them to have had a must watch.
But also a lot of channels to watch, from mobile channels to Netflix, live streaming.
And
there's a lot to watch.
Something.
Back in the day, UTV had to show us all these movies.
There's something
Anyways,
women are watching.
Robert, allow me first talk about what brought about my mind to the Terminator. Artificial intelligence has been used to design brand new viruses that are fully functional and can replicate in the laboratory. This has been confirmed by US researchers. It's the first time whole genomes have been successfully designed by AI, and the resulting 16 novel viruses were created to infect bacteria and pose no threat to people.
Oh.
The breakthrough has been labeled a very significant turning point in science that could unlock a new era for treating disease. Although experts have also warned AI-designed viruses raise urgent safety and security concerns.
So still, when it comes to movies, have you watched these movies where something goes wrong in the lab?
Exactly. That's the whole point, yes.
I've watched those movies, something goes wrong in the lab.
While the public image is things are okay, things are going wrong behind the scenes.
Don't watch a soap called Polygamy, Judy, please. Don't dare. Women are watching that thing, and it is causing problems.
Oh, well, if it does not
If you hear of it, please don't interest yourself.
No, I know about it. But if it does not serve me to the interests of my Lord Jesus Christ, I have no business with it. Allow me go to Africa. And we're looking at our sister this time around, our sister, the Democratic Republic of Congo, that still battled and is still battling with Ebola. Now, the nation has tested and isolated about 200 passengers from a river boat intercepted in Kinshasa after a traveler died of suspected Ebola. Africa CDC says the move is aimed at containing the outbreak as authorities weigh broader vaccination efforts. Africa CDC Director General Jean Kaseya said on Thursday that all passengers aboard the intercepted boat were tested, including those without symptoms, to ensure no infections were missed. Pending laboratory results from the National Institute of Biomedical Research, INRB, the passengers have been prevented from entering Kinshasa and placed in isolation as a precaution. Now, on that note, Robert, let's look at the headlines making it within the dailies this morning. What does the new vision have?
MPs approve UPDF deployment in Gaza. Our members of parliament have approved that. Then ex-MPs recount financial hardships. Many believe if I go to parliament, just 5 years, I and poverty will be enemies forever. Now, Mbarara, Mbarara leads in HIV, syphilis among prostitutes. Now, this issue of, because of this, you can't get HIV because of people. Youth listen very well. There are some myths about certain parts of the country. Certain things are not easy to happen. Then General Katumba shooting bodyguards speaks out, and 8 arrested over power vandalism. Now, Uganda, Tanzania sign new 74 trillion oil deal. Therefore, me, I'm dancing, as long as my country is making money. Best and worst governors, Daily Monitor.
Actually, that is the Daily Nation.
Oh,
representing Kenya.
I had crossed over accidental.
Yes, and indeed, allow me take it on from, the Daily Monitor
The Daily
also
Monitor
has,
is,
yes.
Okay, do for me the Daily Monitor.
Well, the Daily Monitor there, U.S. hand in UPDF Gaza mission. That's the headline. And Museveni Suluhu sign new energy partnership. Interesting stories there to look into. But also UNBS orders mandatory weighing of cement bags. Not many cement bags are actually the kilos they label. And blocked ELA aspirant petitions Speaker Oboth. Also DPP accuses Dr. Besigye lawyer of contempt of court. And ECOP now at 91% completion as Uganda eyes first oil in 2026. The oil was supposed to be July, but pushed to September thereabout. Now let's look at the Daily Nation. Best and worst governors, that is in Kenya. The list has been put there. Top 10 counties and bottom 10 counties. The list is on there. And also the other story, to pay heed to grassroots networks. Ruto follows Moi's script, and nurses strike drugs crisis cripple public hospitals. Those are some of the stories to pay heed to from within the dailies. And that brings us to the end of what we have as updates this morning. But before we even close it and go for the break, we do have the Gazette as of today, the 7th of August. Table of contents there. But some of the notices to pay heed to. We do have a church of recognition. That is St. Mark Kakumba Church of Uganda in Chanja. Anglican church it is. It's in the village of Chanja Central A. The parish is Chanja in sub-county Nakawa Division, and the county is Nakawa Division in the district of Kampala. And it's given under the hand of the Honorable Norbert Mao, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, on the 15th day of July 2026. And an appointment or replacement to Board of Governors there. And the names displayed there for the School of Pigire Secondary School, with effect from 4th May 2026. And foundation body representatives there include Mr. Okello Michael, Mr. Amukum Emmanuel, Mr. Woling Moses, Mr. Omoiti George, Miss Aswago Scovia Aisha. And the local government representative there is Mr. Emokol David. Parents represented by Miss Ajoketu Rose and Mr. Otala Okello Michael, and teachers represented are Mr. Opolo Dominic and Miss Imalu Martha. This is under the Minister of State for Higher Education, Dr. J.C. Muyingo, as of the 4th day of May 2026. Now let's go in for a short break. When we get back, it's another conversation. Remember, it's a Friday, so we do keep it Friday, but with the goal of maintaining the goal, rather, of inspiring you. But thank God it's a Friday. Let's have a short break and we'll be right back. A very good morning to you. It's a Friday, and thank God it is. But as Good Morning Uganda, we make it as Friday as possible, but keep the vision of UBC TV inspiring Uganda. You are welcome, and a very good morning to you as you look forward to your weekend. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Ntono. Now, the election cycle in Uganda still continues as polling for women parish councils is taking place today, the 7th of August 2026, across 10,718 parishes in Uganda. Justice Simon Biabakama, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, said only women sitting on the Village Executive Committee are supposed to participate. And after electing parish council committees, women council elections will proceed at sub-county level, and registers will be compiled on the 11th of August 2026. Now, women council elections will be concluded by the National Conference elections scheduled for 3rd to 4th September 2026. And the Electoral Commission has urged voters to support any form of the electoral malpractice therein. But moving forward to more updates, the Minister of Local Government, Balam Barugahara, has resumed his anti-corruption sweep in Isinjiro district, where he has ordered for the arrest and interdiction of several district officials, mainly those implicated in mismanagement of government resources. And moving forward, non-communicable diseases are becoming one of Uganda's biggest public health crisis and challenges, with the Ministry of Health warning that they now account for 35% of all deaths in the country. Officials from the Ministry of Health are urging Ugandans to embrace healthier lifestyles like working out, exercise, and healthier food choices when it comes to their plates. Robert, I'm not so sure what healthy lifestyle you look forward to taking up, or you are taking up already, but I'd love to know which one.
Doing exercises.
Lovely. Which ones in particular?
I swim.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Right.
I walk.
Lovely. Those are very convenient at that, I would
But
say.
diet, I'm not yet there.
That's what's the point of working out.
Let me work out, but restricting what I eat. More so, there is something I like so much when I'm happy and I'm celebrating. There's a slight meal I enjoy, and because that is how I live my life.
Then what's the point of working out?
Working out, no, you know, having my body to be strong.
Yes, I know,
To
but
be
then,
strong,
but then
I swim for my body to be healthy and strong. I walk to be healthy and strong.
But then again, you know the Luganda saying, ayuzeza na yanika mutaka.
Era bwe mpuga nentambula, I can say I'm walking from Namasuba up to Kumukaga.
No
Then the
matter
next day and
with
come back
an
like
unhealthy
that.
lifestyle.
Now, eating, I have reservations to when I will get there.
But good morning.
Good morning to you, Judy.
Always good to see you
Indeed.
and doing this with you.
How
What are
was
you
your
looking
week?
at? Well, my week has been. I'm yet to think about it. Do you know why? It's because you know how our industry is. It's from one who's on the other side, it looks seamless. But from one who's on the inside and you're practicing it, someone told me that you guys are like soldiers.
From one show, people see you off TV and they think you're done.
Yes.
Now you're switching to radio.
Yes.
Then again, you're switching to something
But
else.
also before you get to TV or before you get to radio, there's a lot of work you put into what you're going to say. So
Of course,
yes,
plus the early waking up.
that's the early waking up. So sometimes you go through every day just as a wave, and before you know it, you're like, what exactly happened throughout the week? How do I feel? You haven't caught up with
And
yourself.
these days, weekends are like dwarfs. Eh?
Man, talk about it. Talk about it. But how was yours? What have you been following?
Well, the week has had quite some stories. The sad bit of it
A lot of sad stories.
is the death of the SC Villa captain.
Yes.
That really didn't go well with me. And I hope we find a solution. You know, sometimes my dad
For expert insights and clear explanations, Boozer Commissioner.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachikuwa. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, and thank you so much for keeping it with us on UBC TV. Welcome to this particular segment where we are going to be looking at issues regarding reading books. And of course, that means I have an author with me. That is Dr. Gardner Rakisat Herbert, who is an author and a co-founder of Mind Heritage. We are going to be looking at the vision behind 1 million book campaign. What does it mean, 1 million book campaign, when you hear of that? 1 million book campaign. Well, I have the man, and we'll be hearing from the horse's mouth. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Now, to begin with, who are you?
Who am I? I'm a man of many colors. But in a nutshell, I'm Gardner Rachiseta Herbert. I'm a lawyer by profession, but my purpose in life is to empower minds and transform lives. And that is where we derive Mind Heritage, an organization which I work for. And I'm also a lecturer of law at the School of Law at Nkumba University, and also work at Makera, the Julius Nyerere Leadership Center.
Okay. Now, I won't say my land friend. I'll excuse myself for that. I don't want to be put in for impersonating or seeing some case. Now, away from that light moment, what inspired you to come up with the 1 million book campaign?
The inspiration is very deep, because inspiration comes from many things. It can be a person you've met and had a conversation with. It may be a book you have read that has transformed the way you think. It may be an event that you have seen or been through or you've exposed to, and it transforms you. For me, it can also be a personal initiative. For me, it falls into two things: an event and a personal initiative. One, I told you I'm a lawyer by profession. I don't come from a very well-to-do family, neither do I come from a bad-off family. You know, I come from a family of 8 siblings, and my dad was, whom I'm very proud of, was a teacher by then, a headmaster of a certain school. So he managed to take us to school to study, 8 of us. And nobody lacked. We didn't lack anything. But when we were studying, always told us, go to school, get a degree. The other, today we know, it's not guaranteed. Get a job. And I managed to go to school, get the degree, get the master's, get the PhD. And in 2021, when I returned from drifting and studying, I got here and I tried to apply for a job in other universities that I put my hands on. And they could not recruit me. 2021. I had the qualifications, I had the skill, I had the knowledge, but I did not have the job. So I decided to go to the village to first relax my mind, because I had a family to take care of. I had so many months at the end of the money. I was broke. Remember, that was after COVID. So what I love to do for my life is running as an exercise to keep myself fit.
I can see the body.
Yes, because my health is my wealth. So when I went to the village, I come from Nyangabu, and every morning I get up to run. So one morning, I remember it was a Tuesday at 6 a.m. I was running down in our village, and I met this young girl. She was going to school in a dirty uniform. She had 4 old torn books. She had a reused bottle, and in that reused bottle there was bushera. You know, I think you know the bushera. That, and then she had a banana in another hand. And for me, when I looked at her, that young girl had everything she needed for that day. So I stopped and asked her what her name was, and she told me she was called, or she's called until today, Tendo Akiki. Then I asked her, where does she stay? She told me, at the Tarmac Road. Now the Tarmac Road, from where I stay and where we met, it's around 3 to 4 kilometers. So this young girl, early morning, going to school. I bent down, looked at her books. All I saw, parts of a mosquito, parts of a cockroach, a panga, an axe. And I asked her, what do you want to be? She said, a pilot. I looked at this girl, and I thought about this global changing world, where we have artificial intelligence, we have emotional intelligence, we have biotech. These are things that are taking the world today. And I looked at this young girl, asked myself, the things she is learning, are they the skills or the things that she needs to navigate this changing world? And I made a promise to myself. Akiki, one day you'll have something that will transform you. That was the genesis. For me, it was out of, yes, I had gotten the education, the exposure, the experience, but I had not gotten the job. And I looked at her, I'm like, will she have that privilege or that opportunity or that opportunity for her to go through what I went through, to see what I saw, so that she can understand? That was the motivation that pushed me and asking me, what can I do? As I think JFK Kennedy said, don't ask what the government can do for you, but ask yourself, what can you do for the government? And that mindset has haunted me until today. And I sat back and asked myself, if we are to change the narrative, we need to change starting from what we read. Malcolm X said, if you want to hide anything from Africans, put it where? In a book. And I can assure you that reading creates leaders. And leaders are readers. Because you asked about where did the mindset of that 1 million books campaign start from? If you just pause. My friend asked me in 2024, when we were supposed to launch some of these books, he asked me, Gardner, what is your dream? You've written, your books are amazing, then what? I told him, you know, there's somebody I admire in this country. It is the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Kaguta Museveni. And I'll tell you why. I told him that me, because I admire him, if I'm to meet him, I'll share with him my vision. And he said, okay, talk to me. What is your vision? And it's like, that is yours. Like a man you dream of meeting is a man who has read. Gardner, if that day ever comes, be prepared. You need to read. And I went back at home and asked myself, if I'm to meet His Excellency, what conversations will I have? That means I have to go back and understand his mindset. I have to go back and understand the books he has read. Because some of the books he has read may be the reason as to why he's still leading us up today. I'll give you a small example. I went back and read his literature and his speeches. One of the books I came across, and I'll work in tandemly, is The Art of War, Sun Tzu. And Sun Tzu says that it is not just winning the war that matters. It is changing the challenges that cause you to go to war. In Museveni's speech, after taking up power, I think it was 1986, he alluded to it. He said it's not just a change in guard. It is a transformational change of our country in lines of policy. We go ahead, Ante Diop, right, who talks about the African civilization. He goes and talks about education. He says, education is not an end. Education gives you the freedom to open you, or it can enslave you. When His Excellency was talking to young, I think there were young doctors here in Entebbe, it was in 2023, he alluded to it and told them, use education to solve current problems. Don't just use education to accumulate certificates. You go back, there are so many books. Ante Diop, he has read Karl Marx, he has read our nation
Generally, I must say he reads a lot.
He reads a lot.
Now,
So
I want to bring you Gardner to our viewer, their interest this morning.
Yes.
Very fond to know that. It is when we hear the vision behind the 1 million book campaign. What is this campaign?
Yes.
How are you going to roll it out? Why is it even necessary?
Now, I started by saying, if you want to change a nation, you have to change the way they think, the mindset, right? And the mindset starts from reading. From that story I've given you, I asked myself, I can put these books on the shelf and launch them, and that's the end. Will I have become impactful I said, no. Then I went on and asked myself, for example, if you leave this place and go to Mulago, and you find a person who has just been involved in an accident, you find a pregnant woman, you have somebody with pressure, you find somebody, if you're a doctor, you won't treat them the same. Each person requires different attention and different medication. Now, for me, I sat back and asked myself, the promise I made to Akiki, what books can transform this girl? And what books do we need to produce learners that are not just cramming, but are holistic to face life challenges head on? And they fall into three categories. The first is Education Without Walls, this book. In this book, I discuss about the
Education
8 fundamentals. Education without walls. 8 fundamentals that we don't learn in school. 1, self-knowledge. We don't know who we are, and today we have that identity crisis. The second I discuss is the art of learning. Many of us go to school, we just cram, but we don't understand. How do we learn to understand? The third, I talk about the art of thinking. Thinking starts from information which comes from learning. Now, you know yourself, you know how to learn, you know how to think. The fourth is emotion intelligence. Today we know mental health is at its peak, but nobody teaches us how to manage our emotions. The fifth is communication intelligence. When you look at the factors that are affecting the youth today that has caused them to be unemployed, it's not that they don't have information or ideas. They do, but they can't express them. If UBC can conduct an interview on recruitment, you know people will come with excellent CVs, but they cannot speak to the CVs. Now, you know yourself, you know how to learn, you know how to think, you can communicate. The fifth is resilience. How do we fail forward? Why is it that there are people who keep trying and trying until they succeed? We are not taught about resilience. We are told start, but then we know every start has a challenge, but how do you navigate it? The sixth that I'm trying to learn is financial literacy. You can have the 5, you can know how to, you know yourself, you can know how to learn, know how to think, have emotional intelligence, know how to communicate, be resilient, but if you can't manage your finances, schools don't teach us about financial management. And the 7th is artificial intelligence. That is at its rise. Today in the corridors of universities, you'll hear doctors, professors, and lecturers condemning artificial intelligence, but the answer is very simple. You either use it or it will use you. Now, the opportunity we have is to train our learners how to use it because it is the new normal. And the 4th, writing. I have had discussions where people are saying we are going digital. Yes, go digital, but let us incorporate both. Because we know when you write, your brain receives twice. We have seen people who type courseworks, and when you give them the exam of that coursework, they will fail. But when you look at our forefathers who came earlier, who did their research while writing, they still remember the thesis that they presented.
In the interest of time, I wanted us to peruse through.
So the second is the tired lawyer. The tired lawyer, I'm talking about burnouts and pressure behind the rope. As lawyers, we are trained to be counsels. But nobody comes in to be our own counsel. We are trained that when our expectations are when I finish law school, go to the back course, finish, I'll get this Mercedes car, I'll have this posh house. But in reality, it's not the case. We are exposed to these cases, trauma, but who comes in? When you go to sleep, in that book, there are magistrates and judges who say, when I went to sleep, the case followed me up. I had to look through it. So I talk about the mental health of lawyers and reminding them that your health is your wealth. Now, the final book, which is one of my favorites, it's Mind Reset. You know, the president has been advocating for mindset change. But when we talk about mindset change, it's a perception. Bantu Steve Biko said that if we want to change an Africa, we have to first understand our history. When you come back to Uganda, I can assure you, if I ask people about the icons that we know in Uganda that have broken the ceiling, few will tell me. So the idea behind Mind Reset is, can we give credit to Ugandans in different fields, education, politics, leadership, economics, innovation, art, rally, movies, music, that have broken the ceiling, so that these young people that are out there can also believe in themselves and get to know that I can also do it. For example, let me give you a very simple question. Did you know that Azawi, you know Azawi, our musician, was the first African or Ugandan to have a billboard in Freedom Square in the US for a week. There are some superstars in the US we know that have never gotten billboards in Freedom Square. Why don't we celebrate her? Did you know, look at these ghetto kids that performed in the World Cup. What did we do here in Uganda? We're very quiet about them. These are kids that are supposed to be celebrated and inspire those young ghetto kids that regardless of where you are, with a positive mindset, we have done it, you can do it. Look at this gentleman who just finished as the third in this public speech in the UK.
Yes,
the first. Those
Africa
are
never
African,
gotten there.
Never gotten there.
Yes.
Why don't we celebrate such
Research
people?
came back,
Right? Did you know Makerere was dominantly a male institution? Did you know that? Until when 4 women from Budo, where we had Sarah and Tiro, joined, and that narrative changed. To an extent that when she was in class, her lecturer said, you either go out or I go out, because we don't teach women. And she decided to stay, and the lecturer went out. Those are people that have broken the ceiling. So we cannot talk about Pan-Africanism, we cannot talk about nationalism, we cannot talk about patriotism before we go back to celebrate the Ugandans that have showed us that the ceiling can be broken. Now you put these books together. Now you have a learner or an individual who strongly believes that I can make it.
Now,
they won't just
the big
wait for
question,
government.
Gardiner, here is, how are you going to ensure 100 million people read these books? Because one, we don't have a reading culture. We read for purpose.
Sure.
You know, you read a book because you're studying about that. Go to universities. Yeah. How many students buy books to read? In our days, we had the era of reading novels.
Yes.
First it was a girlish thing, then as you...
The Mills and Boons.
then you know, you're like, oh, but I think... Then we had even those who would masquerade around with a novel, but have never even read page 3.
Yes.
So the reading culture is something we don't have, but you want people, 100 million people to read each or any of these books.
The target is not 100 million. The target is getting 100 million books. 1 million books, sorry, into schools. The first thing I talked about, education without walls, is that it's the second pillar. We don't know how to learn.
Now, my interest is the methodology.
Now, the methodology is like this. One, it is not that you'll get this book and read it and finish it. The Bible has 1251 pages. There are few people who have read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. But you read one verse in the Bible, it will transform you. Right? And that is the beginning. And for me, now the methodology I'm trying to do and use on how to implement this whole movement is that, one, reading starts with the teachers. However much I know it starts from home. But today we are busy parents. We have libraries in our books and kids do not read. But now when we push them to school, one, the teacher has to know how to read. In our methodology, we will have boot camps, regional boot camps, that are going to train teachers in these books, through the curriculum of these books. Now the teachers, having gotten their knowledge, gotten the experience, they go out and teach the learners, who create champion clubs in schools. Now it's not just a matter of having champion clubs. We'll have competition, quiz competition, public speaking, poems. Mention it, remember the way we used to do MDD. Now, bringing in these concepts. Now, the teachers themselves will have a National Teacher Award every single year in partnership with NCDC and NCD and the Ministry of Education, to have these teachers, empower them, encourage them, spot them out to say there are people or teachers that are helping learners to grow. And the learners themselves are motivated because there are these competitions where we are awarding them. Now, that starts the movement. And as it starts the movement, people start reading. These books are not only meant for children, they're also meant for us as adults. Now, the more we start reading, we start to realize that education is not just about passing exams. It's about having the skills. You don't have to push your son and daughter. No, have marks. If you see they have a skill in football, in music, you encourage them, because we have seen people who have earned a living through that. So it's the whole ecosystem, and it does not take only me, Gardner, at Mind Heritage, and the people that are coming to launch the book. For example, The Tired Lawyer will be launched and flagged by the Chief Justice of Uganda, Justice Dr. Flavian Zeja. Then Education Without Walls, we have prominent people in education, Francis Babu and Victoria Kisarelli. This Mind Reset will be also flagged or given a review by AIGP Moses Kafero. Now you see, it is a cross-generational dialogue that calls for national involvement. All of us should be involved in this movement if we want to change this nation.
So briefly, some light into the launch. What have you prepared?
Yeah.
What should we wait for?
So the launch will be on 28th of August at 5 p.m. at Makerere University School of Public Health Auditorium. We'll be launching the 3 books: The Tired Lawyer, Education Without Walls, and Mind Reset. As I've said, the chief guest will be the Chief Justice of the Republic of Uganda, Justice Dr. Zeja Flavian, and we'll have these professional or enlightened people that have gone through the system to come and review. But they won't only review, we'll have also a perception of people. For example, Education Without Walls, we have a student from LDC who's going to give us his perception. The Education Without Walls, we have children or learners we have picked from schools to give their insights. Then also Mind Reset, we have picked somebody also to give their insights. And one thing I've forgotten to tell the audience is that the 2 books, we have developed comic books for young people. In my village, for example, Tendo, who is 8 years old, can read and comprehend, other than having a lot of literature. It's unfortunate that I didn't bring the comic books, but at the launch, they'll be there. So we would also be doing a fundraising. Because when you look at the number of books, 1 million books, we are targeting 14,051 schools. If you get secondary schools and primary schools and other institutes of higher learning, if you do the math, it gives us 72 books in every school. But we know there are schools that don't have even libraries. So those other books will go in institutes of higher learning. Now, it's a fundraising to help us, to help this nation, to help the learners distribute these 1 million books across the entire nation. It will be a national movement, and its implementation will be at every regional level, where we go do boot camps, train learners, train teachers, and have it concluded. And after that book launch, we'll have a walk. This walk will be in October, at the end of October, from Busega to Nambole. And during that, after that walk, we'll have a cross-generational dialogue, where we have our partners, our private sector, or other individuals coming in to discuss how we can take off this mighty movement to empower and transform this nation.
Well, now are these books available before the launch?
No.
Or as we usually do it, that it's only after the launch?
Yes.
Because you can't watch what is already out there.
Yes, even at the launch they'll be there.
Even at the launch they'll be there.
Yes.
Now, has Christ paid it all?
Sorry?
Has Christ paid it all?
No.
I have to find my way there?
No, Christ has not paid it all. Now, each book, at the launch, we have a package.
I'm not talking about the books.
Yes,
because
yes.
that is automatic.
Yes, but at the launch,
the
attendance is that it will come with a cost. There are 3 books. At the launch will be costing 500,000. The 3 books. Then the one, if you want to buy one book, maybe you want this will be costing 200,000. And that is, remember, it's a fundraising. So it is the money we'll be using to distribute these books. Yeah. And the tendency for now, we call upon everyone who is interested in transforming this nation. It is not only my call, it is not only your call, but I know if we come together, we can transform this nation. As JFK Kennedy said, what can you do? Let's stop lamenting. Let's come to the book of Acts and support this nation through this
As I
project.
see you off, what is that you want to leave with our viewers?
What I want to leave our viewers is I will be happy and fulfilled when we get to realize that just one word can help a lawyer realize that it is well to seek medical help. Just one word from these books can make a parent realize that it is okay to fail and not only pass exams. I'll be okay for policymakers to go back and rethink and get to know that, you know what, there are skills that we need, that our nation needs for it to grow. And that is the whole idea of empowering minds and transforming lives that we have at Mind Heritage.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gardner. He is an author and a co-founder of the Mindset Heritage. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
Very interesting titles. I love these catchy titles. A tired lawyer, my God, burnt out, pressure and recovery behind the robe. And then education without walls. Very interesting. And finally, something that has become so common in Uganda today, we need a mindset change. Now here, the mind reset. Well, you can't afford to miss these books. And I'm very sure, having hosted you,
thank you so much.
These are my copies. See you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachiko. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda wange, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Pearl of Africa, welcome everyone.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live.
Good morning, Uganda. Welcome back from that conversation with Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Ntono. And I think my takeaway was, why should it be the narrative that in case you need to hide anything from an